That is no excuse for deserting your post.
You ordered them killed!
The Red Army knows how to take care of its friends.
I've ordered many deaths. Which specifically are you referring to?
Lev Abramovich Isakovich could have been found guilty of crimes against the state. The punishment is death.
Lev Abramovich Isakovich.
Блядь, сукин сын!
I come all the way from Moscow to this remote piss hole, and this is how you greet your old commanding officer?
What do you want from me, Colonel?
I wanted to show you something. Recognize this? What you wrote on these pages could condemn a man several times over. But before that happens, comrade, first I need to know the truth.
Keep moving, man! Let's move! I have no weapons! Find one! Go forward! To the motherland!
The time has come to push the fascists out of Stalingrad, comrades. Lieutenant Isakovich, you will lead the assault. Charge from the docks to the square. Once it's clear, we can bring in support to help crush the German armor that is sure to be waiting. The fascists are well dug in, but their persistence is no match for Soviet zeal and our overwhelming numbers. Do not be discouraged by a few losses. Kill these fascists and show no mercy.
Step back!
Retreat! Fall back!
By orders of Comrade Stalin, all who retreat are traitors to the motherland! Turn back and fight, damn you! Fire! They were warned! Now, attack!
up, man.
Ich kapituliere!
Careful.
Bitte, bitte! Gnade zeigen! Bitte!
This young lady is Anya Zelinsky.
Yes. Stalingrad. I remember. Those Germans tried to surrender and...
We won a glorious victory that day.
Glorious?
Tell me, comrade. When did you begin to lose faith in the cause? When we first met, you were a true believer.
In my men. I always believed in them.
I am Colonel Churkin of the NKVD. Major Borodin has been relieved for incompetence, and I have assumed command. Comrades, the fascists are almost upon us. Our front line is contracting. Again! We no longer have the resources to hold the Germans here.
But sir, we have to slow them down. We can buy time for the civilians to escape.
Lieutenant?
Isakovich, Lev Abramovich, Comrade Colonel.
Yes, Lieutenant, we must buy time. Not only for the civilians here, but for Moscow. We must also prevent the German bastards from capturing our supplies. Anything we can't load onto that train must be destroyed. Enemy armor! Run, comrades, run!
I can still see their faces as they stood there, stunned.
We sacrificed a few to save a city. You showed great courage that day, comrade.
Abandoning my men showed great courage?
Yes! We were victorious. We faced an enemy that seemed unstoppable. We did what was necessary to keep the Germans from taking Moscow. You had proved you were ready for the difficult challenge we faced at Mzinsk.
What was asked of our men at Mtsensk approached the impossible.
German infantry approaches the ridge in great numbers. Although our weapon support is limited, we must hold these three positions. More Maxim HMGs will arrive soon. But for now, you must rely on conscripts and good cover. When an opportunity presents itself, we will push forward and secure the roads into Mtsensk.
Our victory that day halted the advance of the fascist oppressors. We stopped them, delayed them, which forced them to face the brutal winter to come.
But at what cost? You were always willing to sacrifice so many brave men. Were their lives really so cheap?
I did not have the luxury to agonize over every soldier I sent to die. They understood what was at stake, and their bravery bought us the time we needed to do what was necessary.
Comrades, I think we can all agree we are freezing our balls off out here. Huh? But then, so are the fascists. We will take advantage of this weather and drive the Germans out of the area around Moscow. They've pulled back to defensive positions somewhere around here. Scouts are moving into position here. You will rendezvous with them and provide demolition support. We have limited forces, comrades. Stay warm and stay alive.
If General Winter helped us at Moscow, it was simply because his hand found more Germans than Russians.
No. It was the courage and sacrifice of the Red Army and the Soviet people that bled and slowed the enemy. Fascists would have been warming themselves in a burning Moscow had we not fought so fiercely before the snows came. Every hard-fought battle was necessary to teach a lesson, comrade. To show us we could defeat the Germans. And this drove our troops to fight with great determination in Stalingrad.
What drove us in Stalingrad was Order 227. Our soldiers had no choice. It was fight or die.
There is no retreat! Not one step back! By Order 227, anyone who retreats will be shot on the spot! Executed as a coward and a traitor!
Perhaps the enemy should save their bullets. Just let us shoot each other. But really, comrades, there is no other option. The only way we're going to survive this day is to advance.
We understand, Lieutenant Comrade. We are with you to the end.
Like we have a choice.
Comrades, the motherland must be reclaimed. We have nowhere to go but forward to victory. We will hold the area near the factory and then push through the city to the German position. We need to be careful of flank attacks.
Be ready to stage a counterattack when the opportunity arises. Fascist prisoners have informed us that the Germans will be moving armored divisions forward for attack. I'll try to find you more support when that time comes. It was in Stalingrad when I realized you were losing control of your command.
Why? Because I didn't send all my men to die. Because I fought by their side.
You were never with us. Admit it! A good officer follows orders, without question. Stalingrad is ripe for the taking, Comrade Captain. But we need intelligence on the movements of nearby German divisions. They must have had a forward headquarters in this region. But German snipers have us boxed in. Most likely to delay our advance while their panzer divisions prepare a counterattack. You will clear the area of snipers. Then search for any intelligence. We have a limited window before they muster another attack.
Gather it all up, men.
Out! Everyone out! Now!
Comrade Captain, hold still. I'll get you free.
Ah, no. Leave me, Yuri.
But sir,
I'm pinned. Fritz will be here any minute. What? That's an order!
Comrade Captain.
Huh? Yuri. I ordered you back to base.
Yes, sir. But you did not order me to stay there. I brought help.
Major Polivanov let you do this?
The Major was busy, Comrade Captain.
We exercised initiative. Now let's get this building off you.
Where have you been, Private?
Preventing the capture of a valiant Soviet officer, Comrade Major.
That is no excuse for deserting your post. I want the rest of these soldiers executed in the morning, in front of the battalion. You should remain quiet, Comrade Captain. This had nothing to do with you. Or did it? I believe this captain is becoming a bad influence. Put him on the next train to Moscow.
I had a lot of time to think about those men and what they did for me, and the price they paid for their bravery.
Ah, yes, your long hospital stay. Most educational, I should think, was Sergeant Pozharsky sharing the ward.
Sergeant Pozharsky was certainly larger than life. Being in his ward made the time pass quicker.
Cheer up, my friend. Why so down in the mouth? You're alive. We must celebrate that and drink to the memories of our comrades who cannot.
How can I celebrate, after what I have seen?
So drink to forget. It works for me.
Yes. But every night, when I close my eyes, I am back in Stalingrad.
At least in Stalingrad, you still had food. Leningrad was completely cut off. The Germans starved the city for over a year. Do you know what that kind of suffering does to people? It turns them into animals who will do anything to survive. Anything. But survive, we did.
Come, comrades, to battle! Fight! Bring them death!
Comrades, we are the first men across the river in more than a year. But now, we must capture the German headquarters in the town of Schlüsselburg. Once captured, we must not lose the HQ as we turn to flush out those German dogs. If we push our luck, we might even link up with our allies to the east. Armor support is on its way. Use these troops to demolish enemy garrisons and destroy panzers.
We linked up with the Leningrad front, but the fighting was far from over. There were still pockets of Germans to clear out. They fought like cornered rats. Good work neutralizing the Tiger tanks, comrades. Now we have an opportunity we must take advantage of. Command wants us to capture that beast of a tank and take it back to HQ, to study it and prove it's not invincible. The enemy isn't going to like this, and they have taken positions in the village. I'm sure they'll try to recapture or even destroy our prize tank. Command has reinforcements en route. So for now, we'll capture and repair the Tiger, and then extract it back to base. We must not let this opportunity slip through our fingers, comrades. This Tiger will be ours.
It was Pozharsky and his stories that started me on my path as a writer. You wanted me to inspire the troops with my words, but apart from the bravery of our soldiers, I found nothing inspiring about what I saw.
Was being a journalist really worse than being a soldier?
It was different.
This day keeps getting worse. This is going to be damn near impossible without recon support. We're blind to those Stukas and cut off from Central Command. We're sitting ducks unless we push forward. If we want to risk it, we can try to use a local tower to get back our communications. But either way, we still need to push through the German defenses protecting the city, which are somewhere around here and here. Once we're in the city, we need to eliminate the two German strongholds. There's no turning back now, comrades. Lublin is the last German stronghold between us and the Vistula River. Once we take Lublin, we have a clear path to Warsaw. Our primary objective is the fascist headquarters here at Lublin Castle. Partisans also report that Soviet soldiers are imprisoned inside of it. Of course, it won't be as easy as just rolling up to the castle. Enemy troops are deployed throughout the city. Expect infantry and team weapons in the urban center here, heavy armor in the fields here, and artillery to the northeast. Once we've secured the outskirts, you'll have access to ISU-152 assault guns. Use them to breach the castle gate and free our comrades from the fascisti prison.
Majdanek. After what I saw at Majdanek, I got drunk, and I stayed drunk for days.
Yes, you were becoming useless to me.
Useless? Do you even understand how it felt to see that? On top of everything else?
I suppose I do, having read your notebooks. But we had to win a war.
Yes, we had to win, but did it ever matter to you how we won?
We did what we had to. I did what I had to. That's why I sent Sergeant Przadzki to see you. I thought it might do you good to see how a real Soviet soldier gets things done.
Comrade Izakovich, let me introduce you to our Polish comrades. Well, not exactly comrades. This young lady is Anya Zelinskaya. Anya knows the location of an informant. The Poles are going to convince him to come back with us. You will accompany them. My boys and I have another task, but we'll meet you back here.
I will not wait for you, journalist. If you endanger us, I'll kill you myself. The informant is in this camp. My men have discovered German officers at positions here, here, and here. We need to take them out before we can move the informant. Be careful not to let any officers get away, or else we'll have to abort the mission. While the Germans are distracted, a few of us will move into the camp and grab the informant. Once we have the informant, we will disengage and meet up with Pozharsky and his men. Here is your tongue, Pozharsky. He's ready to talk. Now, where are the supplies you promised us? That are needed in Warsaw.
There, my Polish friend. All that you bargained for and more besides. The Red Army knows how to take care of its friends.
What in the name of God have you done, Pozharsky?
These Poles were capitalists and thieves. Once the Germans were gone, the Poles would have been fighting us. And we have been at war far too long. Nothing personal.
Cutting it a little close, Lieutenant? Majdanek? Partisans? Murder? This is what you want to send?
Yes, the people need to hear this.
They need your words to inspire them, not fill them with despair. Don't you see how dangerous this is to the war effort?
What is dangerous is pretending none of it happened.
Those words will not leave this room.
You cannot hide the truth forever.
You are not thinking straight. A change of perspective will do you good. Report to Colonel Saitov and the 8th Guards.
You're assigning me to a penal battalion? This is a death sentence.
Go tell their story, Lieutenant, while you still can.
Comrades, the rest of the Red Army is moving on to the Oder River. And Germany, we have the privilege of clearing the fascist vermin from the city. But they have burrowed deep. We have to breach the outer redoubts and then fight our way through the city and onto the fortress. However, we cannot risk bringing armor into range until we've eliminated the anti-tank weapons on the walls. We will have some air support providing reconnaissance while we punch through the wall. We'll then exploit the breach with armor and infantry. Once we're inside the outer defenses, we will push through the city, securing the outposts in the square and at the town hall. Then, finally, we will corner the rats at the citadel.
Ceasefire! Ceasefire!
We might as well call the fascists and tell them we're here. We can't keep chasing them through the woods. We need to change our tactics. What is left of the German 9th Army is trying to break through our lines and link up with their 12th Army. We're going to cut them off and make sure that doesn't happen. Your first objective is to secure the road to Halbe. Once you have established the supply line, proceed through the surrounding forests and encircle the town. The Germans are holed up there, waiting for a chance to break through. We will not let them escape, comrades. Remember what they've done to our homeland, our people. We will show the fascists no mercy.
They died in their thousands just to have a chance to surrender to the Americans. But all that mattered to the generals was the race to Berlin. Egos killed men that needn't have died.
I suppose egos were at play, comrade. But it was vital that we reached Berlin before the British and Americans. The future of the Soviet Union depended on the Germans surrendering to us, not our allies.
Berlin. The last stronghold of those fascists who still had the will to fight. It had been 4 brutal years. A long and bloody road. But this was their homeland and we knew they would fight to the end. Final victory would not come easily.
Before we can take the Reichstag, we must clear the fanatics out of the Ministry of the Interior building here. We believe the Germans are storing munitions within, which I am sure we can find a good use for. Once secured, we must move on to the Opera House, where the enemy is entrenched in great numbers. With that in our hands, we'll push across the plaza through heavy fortifications and assault their last line of defense in front of the Reichstag itself. Comrades, do not be discouraged by our casualties. The time of victory is nearly at hand. Capture the Reichstag, and we will crush what is left of the German morale. We will see the Soviet flag fly from its roof.
Millions died to raise that flag. The irony was that the Reichstag had not been in use since Hitler came to power. All those graves for a photograph. I tried to live with what I had seen, but every night my mind raced. I couldn't sleep, not for a year. I knew what I had to do. To honor those men, those soldiers, the truth had to be told. So I tried to defect.
When I saw how you had betrayed us, I personally signed the orders to send you to the Gulag.
I once read that in war, the first casualty is truth. What is inside that book is nothing but truth, comrade. All the men who fought so hard, all of their heroism, it's in those pages. Our victory only brought a different tyranny. I made my peace long ago with the truth. If that means my death, let them do what they must.
We all reap what we sow, comrade.
Lev Abramovich Isakovich, you have been found guilty of crimes against the state. The punishment is death. Do you have any final words?
You'd better go now, comrade. Comrade Isakovich, when they sent me your book after your arrest, I must admit I never read it. Until the day I learned that I was not to survive Comrade Stalin's next purge. I've devoted my life to the motherland, and now I know I have one last duty to perform. I've earned the bullet. The least I deserve is to choose which bullet. So, I'll take yours. The stories of our brave soldiers